Weighing day sucked. I was very hungry, and all I wanted was a Monster energy drink and a Big Mac. But I went to the gym, I relaxed, laid on the couch, and me and my coach were just talking about everyday things. And then we headed up to the venue. Once I got to the venue, we, had to do the paperwork stuff, which is no fun. And then it was set up as a press conference, so I went and I sat where my name was and waited until mine and my opponent's name were called to weigh in. And we weighed in, and everyone always asked, like, in that video of you guys weighing in, why were you guys laughing and tapping each other on the shoulders? Well, when we faced off and made eye contact, he looked away, and to me, I was always told when you make eye contact with a man and he stares off that he mentally broke. So I knew I had that edge on him. I knew that I already had him beat. So I laughed, and instead of being an arrogant dude saying, "Yo, I got you," I just told them, "Let's put a show on for these people and have a good fight." Fight day was cool. Me and my daughter, we spent that morning together. We had breakfast. We had eggs and bacon, and we watched How to Train a Dragon, How to Fly Part Two. And that movie's kick ass. And when I had to leave her and my family to head to the venue, it was tough. My daughter, turned me into a softie with the comments she made. My mom was emotional, but then I went to the gym. I broke my first sweat, which means we got a little workout in to work off the food that I ate after weigh-ins. And then I just laid down on the couch and I waited to head to the venue. Once we headed to the venue, I was relaxed. I was listening to my music, having a good time. We went to the locker room. Me and my coach we kept telling each other, "It's our time. It's our time. Let's do this." I got my hands wrapped and started hitting pads. And as I was hitting pads, I was watching the fights going on the TV screen, and I was so distracted by the fights going on because I'm such a fan of the game that I was so excited that I had to remember that it was go time for me also. So once the commission said it was my turn to come up and fight, I waited. I heard my song playing. I started rapping my song because it was Nas, "You Can Hate Me Now," and I went out there. I seen my peoples. I was excited to see them. They just so happened to be right there when I walked out. Stepped in the cage, and I was like, "I'm home. I'm home. Let's go. Let's go." I had my fun. I seen my opponent, and I stared him down until we started fighting. I feel round one went very well. I didn't have nerves or jitters leading up to the fight because I was so well prepared. But it did take a shot for me to wake up, and it was a great head kick. I got kicked in the face, and it woke me up. So I was like, "All right, let's go. Like, let's have fun now." All the jitters were out the window at that point, and I was just listening to the combos my coach was telling me to throw. I was being the video game, and he was being the controller. He told me to throw a combo, and one of the combos we threw, I dropped my opponent. And that day, my dad called me, and he was just telling me, "When you have the opportunity to drop those elbows, drop those elbows." So that call replayed in my head while I was fighting. And once we went to the ground, I knew that the dude that I was fighting was a very tough opponent on the ground, so I had to respect his game. But I just remembered my dad saying what he said, so I just dropped those elbows, boom. And when I did that, my opponent started going for submission, so I got out of there. And later on that round, he got some good cage pressure. He got me on the cage, and I knew that if I got taken down, I was able to sink into submission. As I was going down, I went for the submission, realized I didn't have it, so I swept him over. And I just remember the same thing, just dropping those elbows. Boom! I dropped the elbow, and that's how the round ended. And my coach came to the corner. I asked him, "Did I win that round?" He said, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'm not even tired." And at that moment, I knew that we worked really hard and that I was in some really good shape. Round two was the significant round. Round two is the one that changed my life. You know, coming off the stool, I was done playing around. I was done shaking his hand. I was done with the smiling. I said, "Let's go ahead and get it. Let's finish this fight off." So, we kept filling each other out. I threw some body shots. I threw some leg kicks. He was throwing a lot of head kicks. And then I just baited him in. I baited him to follow me to the cage. Once I did that, I took an angle I threw a few combos off some angles, and I had an opportunity to throw a head kick. Once I threw that head kick, he went down, and I finished that off with some ground and pound. And the referee stepped in between us, and I was ecstatic. I was like, whoa! Like I just started yelling, and I yelled to the crowd. I yelled to reporters that I was back. I was back. And a lot of people asked me, what was it that you yelled at that reporter to the side of the cage? Well, that that reporter or his friend that also write reports with him, the whole camp were writing reports doubting me. So I just told him, write about that, mother effer, write about that, mother effer. And I just lost it. I was full of emotion. And, I got my hand raised. I showed my opponent respect, shook his hands, and shook his coaches' hands, Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn, which were two of the best coaches in the world. And, went backstage, took my wraps off. Me and my coach, we just hugged it out. And we were full of emotions. Found my friends in the crowd. I said, yo, let's go have fun. And we had a great night. We had a great night that night, had fun, and it was back to work on Monday. What's next for me? Well, the sky's the limit for my team and I and my family. But as of right now, I'm just staying in shape. I'm staying fight ready so I don't have to get ready when I do get that call that it's go time. My coaches find fights for me, and they're looking for opponents for me for my next fight. And when I do get details for that, I will let everybody know. But until then, just keep dream chasing and keep working hard. And everybody out there, if you have a goal, chase it. If you have a dream, chase it and accomplish everything, man. Don't let nobody knock your dream down and go get it, man. Team Smith, Lions only. My name's Marquis Smith, MMA fighter, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and San Antonio, Texas.